welcome to the PS Flavor Cooking Club. This is Pam Smith. I'm Nicole Talbot, and we are so excited to be with you tonight. We have such an amazing meal that we're making. I cannot wait to watch it come together. I can't wait for you to hear Pam talk about all the different ways you can use each element of this meal. More than anything, we're so happy that you're here with us. We've been doing this for a while now, and everyone is unique and fun, and if this is your first time joining us, we want to let you know that it is our goal that you have a stress-free experience. We know technology is not always stress-free, so if you have any problems with your technology, let it do its thing, pop back on, we'll be here, we'll keep going. But you may want to go ahead to the Files tab in the PS Flavor Cooking Club group on Facebook, print out your recipe, grocery list, prep sheet, and wine pairing. What are we having for wine tonight?
We're doing, because this is a gazpacho inspired, of course, by Spain, although this is an interesting little take, Umami Gazpacho, which we'll be talking about. We thought, and that was Pam's pairing, that we should go right to Spain. And so we're having a really beautiful wine, a white wine that has just some really beautiful acidity to it. It's called a Verdejo. And I'm really excited for us to have a little sip, and cheers.
Cheers.
And for you to have a chance, it's good, right? We needed something that's got a lot of acidity because it's standing up to tomatoes, the black bean and corn salsa. There's just so much going on in this. So needed a wine that could match with it. I'd already had suggested a rosé as well, but you know, we do a lot of rosés, so thought it would be a perfect thing. This dish is the perfect thing for right now. I know you all are joining us from all over the country. We're in Orlando, Florida, and it had a heat index over 100 today, but not just today. That's been for the last 2 weeks. We've had...
This is nothing new.
No, this is nothing new. It's been really brutal. So all of you all that kind of don't like us in February when we're talking about what the weather is, this is your time that you can really say, ha, ha, ha. They get it. They get what they've got coming, but it's been very hot, so doing a no-cook meal is really a fun thing for us because oven's not on, heating, to do some roasted vegetables. All of this is cold, and actually it even makes it even better for the summer because they're the kind of dishes that you can make right now and eat right now for dinner, but they're also the kinds of dishes that you can make and have made in advance. So if you've got a July 4th thing happening, think about this as a great thing to take. If you're thinking about a summer barbecue, even the black bean and corn salsa with the adobo is perfect as a side dish from anything from burgers to barbecue chicken. This whole dish is amazing, including the tiki chili chiller that's going to be coming right at the end, which we're really excited about.
Yeah, it's kind of our take, a little bit like a Dole Whip with the PS flavor spin. So we can't wait to hear what you think. We're big fans of pineapple soft serve, as some would say.
That's good.
So this is our take on that. We can't wait for you to have it. Do you want to get started?
We need to get started because we've been trying to do everything live right on the viewing, if you will. Although we have a prep list that Nicole beautifully sends out that is something for you to get, mise en place, everything in its place in advance. So hopefully you've gotten ahead. We've already have diced all of your tomatoes and your onion and your cucumber. So basically, while I'm up here chopping, we're just going to be mixing in what you've already have done. If you haven't done that, then we're going to be doing it together all the way through this entire meal.
Well, one more thing before we start chopping and dicing using our amazing Cutco knives that we love so much. We have another Cutco cutlery knife giveaway tonight, and we're going to do it during the class. We did it last month during the class, and we loved it, so we're going to do it one more time, at least, during the class. So keep your eyes and ears open for a contest question. Be the first one to answer it correctly, and you will win a 7-inch Santoku, which we will get to watch Pam using tonight.
Yes.
I know, I love it.
Yes.
I'm going to go grab the camera so we can get up close and personal with everything Pam is doing, and let's make a great deal.
Let's make gazpacho. Really fun. Again, I've had a lot of people have said, gazpacho, that's the cold soup, right? Yes, that is the cold soup, and designed to be this, that. I love this soup. I cannot wait, actually, for summer, even though you could make it any time of the year. There's just something so celebrative about eating kind of we call it almost a salad in a bowl, a liquid salad in a bowl. It's just a really great way to drink your veggies, but yet with so much flavor. So we're gonna get started. I have a really big bowl, and basically I'm just gonna be dicing and chopping and adding. You can do this all at one time. You could certainly pull out your trusty blender or your food processor rather and do that. But again, we love Cutco and we love Cutco knives. So when we have an opportunity to show how easy it is to just do your own little slicing and dicing, why not? If you've not cut peppers before, yellow peppers or red peppers, pretty easy to do. You literally just take the tops off, get a nice flat surface, just slice right from that inner core of the seeds. Have you worked before trying to get those seeds out? Well, no need to do that. Just like your knife, literally cut them away and voila, there you have it.
Amazing.
Then you're gonna make some planks, and basically your planks you want to be flat because that's when it's gonna help you to first slice. Gonna literally take this beautiful knife right through the peppers. You slice, and then we're gonna turn it, and we're going to dice. Slice and dice. And always keeping your fingers in a flat position so that the knife goes against them and doesn't want to go into them. Always a beautiful thing.
While you are slicing and dicing these up, I wanted to also make sure everybody knows that we have Spice Girl Kim with us tonight, and she is ready to take any question and be your voice. So while Pam's cooking, if you have any question come up about what she's cooking or about flavor, spices, anything that she can help you with, go ahead and type it out, and Spice Girl Kim will read your question and see what Pam has to say.
Get our attention if she can. One question that we have already had asked to us is, can you make gazpacho with anything? Does it have to be just tomatoes? And the answer is absolutely you can. When summer's produce is at its best, you can make gazpacho with watermelon. One of my favorite is a blueberry gazpacho. Again, you use the same kinds of principles. You're basically just getting fresh vegetables, and in the case of blueberries or watermelon, together with fruit and making the magic, because really it's one of those time-tested Trivial Pursuit questions. Are tomatoes a fruit or a vegetable? Maybe that should have been one of our questions. What do you think? What do you think, Spice Girl Kim? Are they a vegetable or a fruit?
I'm guessing a fruit.
They are a fruit.
I read somewhere that knowledge is knowing that tomatoes are a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put them in a fruit salad.
Oh, that's a t-shirt right there.
That
That is a t-shirt.
These look so bright. I love that you chose, I know we're cutting peppers, but I'm thinking tomatoes because we were just talking about them. And I know that one of the reasons you chose gazpacho for this month is because tomatoes are just so good in May and June. Are those the prime months for tomatoes, or when should we look for them the most?
Well, because we have people that are watching from all over the country, they will tell you that tomatoes come in at very different times than they do here in hot and sunny Florida. Tomatoes follow the sun. So as the sun gets brighter, you'll see tomatoes coming. Jersey tomatoes are kind of at their best more in July and August. We have beautiful tomatoes that are happening in Northern California in August and September. Again, like watermelon, because they're a fruit, they follow the sun.
Ah, that's amazing.
That is. Okay, so we've got our peppers in play. I used red and yellow just because I love the color differential. But you can use any color if you want to use green peppers because you have them in the garden or found them at the farmer's market. that works out beautifully. This is a cucumber that's called a Kirby, or a European cucumber, hothouse cucumbers. They're called many a thing. I love them because they have a different kind of seed. It's a very small seed. They come wrapped in a saran wrap, and because of that, they're not waxed. I love to use them for that reason as much as any other, because although the wax that's on many cucumbers and apples is an edible paraffin, you don't have a recommended daily allowance for wax. So it's okay to try to find things that aren't waxed. Usually organic apples are not waxed, organic cucumbers, but again, those Kirby European cucumbers are never waxed either. I saw that you were watching what I was doing, Nicole, when I was talking about the cucumbers. I literally just cut them in half, exposed those seeds, because this is going to be a gazpacho that's going to marry flavors together, maybe be in the fridge for a while. Don't want the seeds in there because they just add so much water to it. So I've cut the cucumbers, but then just with a spoon, I kind of make them into almost little logs that have the centers cut out from them, or scraped out in this case. Again, fine to leave them in, and if you're doing a blender or food processor, fine to do certainly, but I just really like them without those seeds. And once I get them seeded, then I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did with the peppers. I'm going to slice first, turn, and then do a really quick and easy dice. You're wanting these to be almost bite-sized, which is, again, something you want to be aware of if you do use a food processor, is you're not trying to turn this into a slushy. You're really wanting the texture of the vegetables, and that's why just a kind of edible kind of slice, or dice rather, is exactly what you're going for in gazpacho.
Now, if you were using the cucumbers that did have the wax on them, would you peel them, or would you? Okay, you would, just to get rid of that recommended daily allowance of wax.
Exactly. We always think that we should leave our peelings on fruits and vegetables. We've always heard that because that's where the nutrition is. Well, no, it isn't. The nutrition's all the way through the fruit and the vegetable. But I generally do try to leave the peeling on. The only exception to that is when they've been waxed. So don't feel bad at all about trimming it away. Sometimes it even in these cucumbers, it makes it kind of pretty to trim some of that green away from it.
All right. Okay, so far we've gotten our yellow peppers and our, let's see, you did, was it an orange pepper?
Orange pepper, and no, it was a yellow pepper and a red pepper.
Making
but orange
orange.
peppers work out fine too. We had someone ask before the class if they can use the mini bell peppers, and you can certainly do those too, but wanted to show you the quick little hack of how best to cut a whole pepper. And we're seeing those come into the market a little bit more, again, as the sun is coming as well.
Now, this gazpacho, this umami gazpacho that you're doing, it makes a pretty large amount.
It does.
And I think that, you went ahead and went for that because it's easy to save and keep using. And also, it's hard to get a half a cucumber or a half a pepper.
It is. If you're going to cut, go ahead and just go for it and do the whole thing. But really, it's the first point that you made. If you're going to go to the trouble to slice and dice, go ahead and get a good amount made, because it just becomes the perfect lunch, a perfect afternoon kind of a snack to have. And wait, there's more. It also can become the base for a really dynamite tomato sauce. If you were wanting to do kind of a fresh pasta sauce, well, what better? You've got peppers, you've got the tomatoes, and even though you might question, but I don't usually put cucumbers into my sauce, truth is once you cook it down, you really won't even know they're there. It almost seems like you've used zucchini instead. So cucumbers, peppers. Let's go ahead and attack the onion, this bad boy. Again, if you've not diced an onion before, it's really amazing how we've been provided with perfect little lines to cut right on. I've literally cut the onion in half, taken the peeling off of it, but I've cut only one end off, and I've left the root end. Why? Because I don't want the onion to fall apart. I do one little cut right within, and then easiest dice you could ever do for an onion. It's already going to be kind of in your lines, so slice and dice. Those that have been joining us in our cooking club for months have seen me do this probably a lot of times. I won't say exactly how many, but we've had a good number of classes. Now I'm going to use this not only for the gazpacho, but I'm also going to be using it for the black bean and corn salsa. So since I'm doing this with the onion, I'm going to go ahead and go for the other one as well.
In the same size.
Same size,
Okay.
exactly. Again, we're going for that small little dice because you're not wanting to bite into a big onion. Any onions will do. You could use a Valdelia onion. I'm using a red onion in this case. I just really like the little bite. I like the little crunch that it gives, but sweet onions are certainly delicious as well.
And since we're not cooking it, the color
It's
is
beautiful,
so
right?
nice to see too.
Yeah.
And what an amazing thing to have a really no-cook meal. It's also a completely plant-forward meal.
It is. We talked about that actually, and I think we even mentioned it at the end of the last class, is that we have so many people that are joining us for the cooking times that we have together that are living a plant-based lifestyle, and we're always talking about, well, instead of using salmon, you could easily use tofu, or you could use a meat alternative, but we thought it might be kind of interesting to instead do a class that's completely plant-based, not a trace of animal protein to be found, but at the same time to give the alternative for those that might like to add a little garnish. So that's why we have the adobo shrimp garnish that is suggested for those that might like to add just a little touch of something more.
Yeah, and that's given as an add-on in the recipe that's at the files tab of the Facebook group. So you can go there to get the recipe, the prep sheet, the grocery list, and like we talked about, PAM'S pairing, the wine pairing, just to teach you a little bit about how to get that perfect glass of wine to go with your meal.
Yes. So I'm going to use half of this in the gazpacho.
Okay, so half of the onion for the gazpacho, and then we're saving the other half for the salsa.
Into the salsa. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the tomatoes because this calls for 8 tomatoes for the gazpacho, 4 tomatoes for the black bean and corn salsa, so that's a whole lot of tomatoes. We're using Romas, but really any tomato will do. I use Romas because they have so much meat to them and not much in the way of seeds or liquid, and so for the same reason that I took the seeds out of the cucumber, I'm really wanting more of the meat of the tomato in here rather than the juiciness itself. We're going to get the juice from the tomato juice and V8 juice that we add.
And we have a question that has come in from one of our amazing cooking club members, Andrew. And Kim, do you want to bring us Andrew's question?
Sure, he says, we add the shrimp to the gazpacho and turn it into ceviche.
Ooh.
And then he says, or is it a totally different base?
Yeah, so he's wondering, could we do that? Can we add it and turn it into a ceviche, or is that just a totally different thing?
Well, it's different. You could definitely do that, Andrew, if you cooked the shrimp first. Shrimp is one of those things that to really get a good cook on it, or scallops or shrimp or anything that you might do, you need it in a really heavy acid. So ceviche traditionally is done in citrus juices, lime juice, lemon juice, orange juice. A lot of acidity is what is going to quote, quote, cook it as compared to heat. This doesn't have enough acidity, but if you cooked it first, then you could indeed add it as kind of a tomato ceviche, your own little twist on it and take on it, and would be delicious. The other thing that we do is we'll go ahead and cook it and grill it, even on skewers, and then just top the gazpacho with the shrimp skewer. I oftentimes serve the gazpacho in little shot glasses, and a little skewer of the shrimp coming out of it is really a fun thing. I will tell you, many of my friends have been known to add just a little bit of adult beverage to this and turn it into kind of their own version of a kind of liquid ceviche in and of itself. A lot of ways to cook somebody, right?
I love that, and I hope that answers your question, but if not, type a little bit more and we'll be happy to keep talking about it. While we were talking about that, one of your friends that likes to put the adult beverages got on and gave you a little thumbs up.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
with great excitement.
With great excitement can be done.
So how are those tomatoes going?
Well, again, a labor of love, right?
It is.
It's just really something that we like to do. And again, you could certainly get ahead of this. I mean, we're doing it literally in the moment, but hopefully many of you already have your tomatoes cut. You could even buy them diced these days. But again, I just really love to show how easy it is to be talking and slicing and dicing all at the same time.
Well, and what a great meal too if you're having people over, because this does serve so many. If you're having a party and doing this as an appetizer or as the meal, and people come in and say, what can I do? How can I help? Have a chop party.
Yes.
Get everybody chopping their veggies
Now, there's a thought, right?
playing their part.
Yes, in so many ways.
I'm sure you're wondering why we get to be over here with the computer and the camera and you just chop away.
I know. I was exactly thinking that. In so many ways. I was actually thinking, why did I think that I would do all of these on stage?
So how many tomatoes is it?
So there's 12 altogether.
Okay.
What we've just done is 6. So I just have a few left to go. There's 8 in the gazpacho. So I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, get that added in so we can get the gazpacho kind of marrying its flavors
Oh,
together,
great. Yeah,
is a great
because
thing to
if
do.
we weren't doing this in a 1-hour class, you would do it ahead of time
my
and get it
goodness,
in the
yes.
refrigerator and
Absolutely.
chilling and
I would have
marinating.
done it yesterday and we would have been very happy all the way through, but really like you to see just how easy it is to pull all of this together and to pull the flavors together.
Well, while you're over there using that Santoku knife,
Mm-hmm.
what would we think about doing a little
I
contest?
think that is a fabulous idea.
All right, so-
no, we're doing this live. This is happening.
Yes, this is happening live. We are here, we're chopping, and one of you, maybe if you're paying attention, and you may be deep in chopping heaven yourself. But if you are paying attention and hearing, this knife that we're seeing in action right now could be yours. This is the 7-inch Santoku from Cutco Cutlery. And they do a giveaway with us in the cooking club. And our question for you for this contest is, not counting this month being June, not counting this month, how many knives have been given away through the Cutco giveaway in the PS Flavor Club? So since we began, how many knives have been given away? Again, not counting this month.
Not counting this month.
And each person can have one guess, and let's see if anybody can get
I
it.
think people are madly trying to do math calculations right now.
Andrew, that is not correct.
What did Andrew say?
He said 7.
Oh my.
Okay.
So the tomatoes, happy to say, are chopped. Moved on to just a really nice, quick, and small mince on the garlic. All that I had done beforehand is just peeled the garlic and smashed it a bit while I was peeling it. So now with this knife, which I think everyone knows, even our wonderful friends at Cutco know that this is truly one of my favorite knives because, as you can see, I can use it for so many things. Just doing a fine mince on garlic, all I'm doing is just kind of using the knife in a rocking motion to do that fine mince.
And we got another guess of 6, which is also not correct.
Wow.
Oh, and we have a whole office group is watching us right now in California.
How about
So
that?
hello to Melissa Hamill's office.
Hello, Melissa Hamill. So great. Okay, so we have all the veggies in and ready to go.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even done a shot of all of these veggies. Talk about bright, flavorful, but the health and wellness that you see in that bright. I remember you teaching us when we were very young, for those of you that don't know, Pam is my mom, that when we see bright colors in food, we can know that we're getting that amount of nutrients and health and wellness from it. Right. So when I see bright, I know that I'm getting something good.
Well, the more vibrant the color, we like to say, the more power-packed with nutrients it is, not just the ones you traditionally think about, vitamin C or potassium, the vitamins and minerals, but it's so much more. It's what we call nutraceuticals, not pharmaceuticals, but nutraceuticals, nutrients that are in food. And in this dish, tomatoes are power-packed with lycopene, which is an incredible protector of the body, literally almost an anti-cancer kind of fighter in and of itself, almost gives a force shield of protection. The peppers, the onions, the garlic, they all have their own magic powers, which is fantastic. So the veggies are in play. All that we're going to do now is add the juices. We have both tomato juice and V8 juice, which is going to become the liquid that goes with this. You could make your own. If tomatoes are abundant, go ahead and blend away and have a great time. Take the skins off, take the seeds out, but you can make your own tomato juice. This we didn't do, and we have it in a really cool kind of pitcher, which may or may not do its magic, but we'll see.
There it goes. This is called a gurgle pot, and the kids all love it when they come over, but I've got to say I think the adults love it as much as the kids. Exactly. It has this design that as you pour and then you lift it up, it does a little gurgle for you.
Gurgle. So the juices are in. We're going to add to that just a little splash of white balsamic vinegar just to give a nice little base. Going to add a little touch of your favorite hot sauce. We love Cholula. Always our favorite hot sauce. And we're also going to get our flavor coming in with our porcini pepper.
Oh, and that's where the umami is coming from.
That's where the umami is. It's an interesting thought because you don't usually think of mushrooms with tomato sauce or certainly a cold gazpacho soup, but yet think about those perfect combinations. Think about mushrooms in a tomato sauce, or think about even a burger with mushrooms and ketchup. There's something powerful that happens when you get something that's so loaded with umami, like mushrooms are, together with smoked paprika and garlic and onion, and there's just a host of different flavors that just bring up the whole craveability. So we like having it kind of in the background just a bit. We're going to add a tablespoon of the porcini pepper.
And a lot of people that I know who are plant forward or plant based, they really tend toward the porcini pepper because it gives that umami that's often hard to get or missing. Obviously the mushrooms are a great place to go, and the porcini and the porcini pepper makes a great seasoning to add to your food, to just add that, like Pam was saying, that craveability, that desire to go back for more and more, and this is a guilt-free thing to go back for more of. So
it is. Now we thought that it really would do well with just a little touch of our Creole kitchen as well, which we use in place of salt and pepper. You're welcome to use just a little sprinkle of kosher salt or a little bit of pepper if you want. We're using our Creole, and you can certainly go lightly or heavily on that. It's all depending on your taste buds.
Before you put yours in, or if you already have, that's okay. But this is a place where you get to adjust. What are your taste buds like? Do they like more heat, or do they like it with less heat and just bank on the flavor? How is it?
It's delicious.
It's just delicious. I love that.
Delicious. Only thing I'm going to add, and I really wanted to taste it first, is some fresh basil.
Okay.
Now, if I was indeed going to be making this the day before, I would probably leave the fresh herbs out because fresh basil tends to turn a little dark when it's refrigerated, which is why you rarely see basil in the cooler of your grocery store. You'll see it over where the tomatoes are. You'll see fresh basil plants. But the fresh basil just gives this really amazing pop of summer to this dish, and I just really, really love it. So I'm going to go ahead and add that now. You could certainly add flat leaf parsley. You could take it into little bit of a different direction, a little bit more of a southwest direction by adding cilantro to it. All of it works out great. Once you let it marry together and let all those flavors start to come together, you want to taste it again. If we were waiting an hour or so to serve it, we would come back in, give it a taste, and you may want to adjust the flavors just a bit. Add a little more basil, a little more Creole, maybe a little more hot sauce. All of those are kind of on your own.
And if someone has asked, if you were going to add a little, let's say some Tito's to it.
Oh,
someone might have. Would you do that now?
No, what I would do is I would do it almost like you would a Bloody Mary. So you use this as your base and then add that little bit of Tito's to it. You could either float it right on top or just do the nice little mix. And then that also would be really fun with your shrimp in it as well.
Awesome. And we had another guess. Someone said 8 knives, and that is not correct. So again, the question at hand for the giveaway is how many knives have been given away by Cutco in the PS Flavor Cooking Club since it began?
I love this question.
I know. I'm so excited. Now,
anticipation.
I see behind you, spoiler alert, but I see behind you some pineapple. We've asked everybody to freeze their pineapple about 3 to 4 hours prior to this so that it's nice and solid.
Right.
Should they be taking it out now or leave it in the freezer?
Leave it in.
Okay.
Your blender Vitamix is going to do that exactly.
Great.
So we're going to go ahead, since the gazpacho is made, we're going to go ahead and work on our black bean and corn salsa. Now, again, anyone who has been to any kind of function that I go to, this is my go-to. I tend to bring it for so many things. We wanted to bring it in with the gazpacho because it adds this little pop of interest and color, but it also provides the protein for this plant-based meal. Oftentimes when people go plant-based, they put their focus into not eating meat, but not focus into getting the right kinds of plant proteins. The black beans together with the corn make this perfect, very high quality, complete protein. So it works fantastically with the gazpacho to make this a complete meal. All that I've done, if you're using canned beans, just drain and rinse them in advance to get some of that added salt off of them. We want to add flavor. We're not necessarily wanting to get it. If you cooked your own, fine to do as well. All that you'll be wanting to do is, again, just making sure that even those are rinsed. We already had our garlic chopped because we did that before. We already laboriously diced our tomatoes, so I'm going to go ahead and add those to this as well. Again, the color in all of this is just amazing. Going to go ahead and add that onion that I've already have chopped. So you see, we kind of did a lot of work, it seemed, right at the beginning while we were talking along, sipping some wine, but now it all pays off because we've got all that we really need to have happening right here. And I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce to this as well, as I have, and a little bit of the white balsamic. You see that the flavors of these things work really, really beautifully together. But the star that's going to go into this as well is some corn. Fresh corn couldn't be more beautiful than it is right now. It's just bursting from our stores, and love that. You can either buy corn that's already has been husked or just husk it yourself. If you do husk it yourself, you might save a little one of the husk because that becomes a really beautiful decor item to be a little bit of a garnish with the black bean and corn salsa. All that we're going to do is just cut the corn right from the cob. We're not cooking it first. We're letting, again, the knife just kind of slide right along that. There's lots of hacks on the internet about how to cut corn. You will read hacks like cut it with a bowl inverted inside of a big bowl so that it cuts all the way down and you don't get it all over. My simplest way is just this, literally to lay the corn onto the cutting board, cut one piece, and then I have a flat edge. I'm always looking for that because it gives me more security when I'm cutting. Turn it again, another flat edge, turn it again, and voila.
And we just had quite a few people just jump on and join us. So they are ready to watch this black bean, tomato, and corn salsa be made. But we also want to remind everyone of the contest going on right now, which is that everyone has a guess. You're welcome to take a guess, or if you know, it's an educated guess. How many Cutco knives have been given away, not including this month, not including June? How many Cutco knives have been given away in the PS Flavor Cooking Club? The winner, the person that gets the exact answer, will win that 7-inch Santoku with red handle and PS Flavor logo.
And people only get one chance to guess?
They get one chance to guess.
One chance to guess, wow. Okay.
All right, that salsa is looking amazing.
Really fine. The only thing that we want to add to it is just a little bit of extra heat. We have some of the chili hot sauce that's already in it. And I'm going to add just a little bit of jalapeno to it as well. In the recipe, I say a half to a full one. This is a really, really big jalapeno, so you may end up wanting to use even a quarter of it. If you're not a big fan of heat, you want to use the same spoon that you use to take the seeds out of the cucumber and just scrape those seeds right out of the inside of your jalapeno, because the heat is found in these veins and found in the seeds themselves. So how are we doing with questions?
No more questions have come in just yet. Now, if people just are really heat averse,
Right.
should they just leave out the jalapeno?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, or you might even try one that's a little sweeter pepper, like a Fresno pepper, or maybe use some red pepper, something that doesn't really, a red bell pepper, sweet pepper, that really has no heat with it at all. But people tend to think of jalapenos as just being hot, but the truth is they really do have a lot of flavor to them. So again, can certainly leave it out, but maybe try first getting the seeds out, getting the stem, of course, and the veins out, and see if you end up enjoying that little flavor more so than picking up the heat. Okay, so I'm going to use a half of mine, and now I'm going to add our adobo.
Okay, so we've used porcini pepper and a little Creole
Right.
in our gazpacho, and now we're gonna season this with some adobo. Oh, look at those colors. I couldn't even finish my sentence.
I know.
I'm just so taken by it. It's so beautiful.
Well, because adobo is based on probably one of the golden childs, pardon the pun, of the spice world right now, turmeric. Adding it to this, where you already have the vibrancy of the yellow corn, just gives so much, again, beautiful colors, but so much flavor. This has turmeric and cumin and onion, black pepper, which tends to activate the turmeric that's within. And then we're also going to add just a little bit of lime juice. The lime juice is going to be the acidity here. I've already microwaved them. If you all have been in any of our Facebook Live cooking classes before, I always pop limes, lemons in the microwave for about 30 seconds, just long enough to do some powerful things. The microwave actually cooks inside out and bursts the cells in the lime, so it enables you to get much more juice from that. And as you can see, it just is unbelievable what comes from that little lime. I'm going to do the juice out of 2 limes. You could certainly do a little bit of zest ahead of time if you wanted to do that. The time to zest limes or lemons is before you cut them, obviously, and use a handy little microplane to do that.
All right, we got another guess, and the guess was 18, which is not right, but I do also want to just go over some of the rules that were posted on the Facebook page. which is that Cutco employees cannot win the knife. P.S. Flavor employees, so sadly, cannot win the knife. Sorry to all of our Spice Girls. And those families who have won the knife this season. So we start over. We do each season here in the Cooking Club. So if you have won a knife this season, then you're out for this one, but we'll be starting a fresh season next month in July, actually.
July the 30th is the
Yes.
next time. The only last thing I'm adding to this is some fresh cilantro. And the same rule applies that I said about the basil. If you're making this in advance, leave the herbs out and then add the herbs right before you get ready to either serve it an hour or so before, or before you get ready to take it to someone.
Great. Oh, I'm just loving how all of this is coming together, and I can't wait. For those of you who haven't made this yet, maybe some of you have already made it and you're just watching and enjoying, but if you haven't tasted this yet, there's just something so magical that happens when this salsa is combined with this gazpacho.
It all comes together
It
really
does.
beautifully.
So you're
It's meant
adding
to be.
some basil.
No, this is cilantro.
There at the top.
Get that mixed in.
Beautiful.
And then we'll give it a little taste, and you can see it's just gorgeous.
And as always, if you are not a cilantro fan, and we do not judge, we know it's just who you are,
It's genetic.
that flat leaf parsley could be used instead. We just happen to love cilantro in this recipe.
That is so good.
It is so good.
It is so good. Love it. And it really just gets better.
Great.
So, again, we have the gazpacho, we have the black bean and corn salsa. We're really all set to serve up a really great meal.
Wow.
But we wanted to do something super fun, and that is not just have our gazpacho and our black bean and corn salsa, but find a way to really bring summer celebration into play, and that's where that tiki chili chiller came to life. And we want to plate up first and then go to the
Let's do that.
chili.
I love
Okay.
that idea.
Let's do that. Great idea.
Because when we're live, we get to do whatever we want.
Get to do whatever we want. That's exactly right.
If you're making this at home, send us a little note to let us know how it's going. We hope that you have gotten everything chopped up. We know that there was a lot to do, but that's why we really wanted to do this one fully on air, because we didn't want to get too ahead of you. We really wanted you to be able to do it along with us.
Which is exactly what we did. So let's I love to serve this. You could serve it, as I said, in a little shot glass, especially if you were going to float a little Tito's in it. But in this case, let's use a beautiful white bowl to really show off all of the splendor of those beautiful vegetables that you cut so nicely.
And I love how you say that it really is almost like a salad in soup form.
It is. And so then I did save one of the little corn husks.
And all you did was tie it in a little knot at the
I
end.
just took one of the little strings, if you will, that came from the corn.
Oh, okay. So you separated one and you used it as a string around it. Okay.
I did.
Great.
And so then let's just spoon this beautiful black bean and corn
Oh my gosh.
right into
So
it.
delicious.
So beautiful and so delicious. But you don't have to do this kind of little show there. If you want to just mound it up in the center of it, it works beautifully as well. But I don't know, just makes it a little special, right?
Yeah.
And then you can add to it a little bit of added cilantro if you would like. You could throw a basil leaf on. You could take a little slice of lime. You really can do anything that you want at this moment to jazz it up. But let's face it, it's pretty jazzed up.
It
in
is
and of
jazzed
itself.
up. Oh my gosh. Just beautiful and delicious.
Loving it.
Okay, so
What do you
I think
taste?
we have officially made our umami gazpacho with adobo, black bean, tomato, and corn salsa. We've plated it all up, And now is it time for our tiki chili chili?
It is time for it.
Oh, I'm
really
excited.
Super fun in lots of ways. You may want to bring the Nicole cam right around. We have our Vitamix set up. Any kind of powerful blender works with this. That's one thing that we found. You can use a food processor, but you just get a lot more froth, and that's really what a whip is. It's where you're really getting that froth when you have an opportunity to do a really powerful blender. Yesterday, we cut this pineapple, and Nicole, you posted it, I believe. And basically, all that we did was cut the pineapple and then just put it into a Ziploc bag, popped it into the freezer, and now it's just like little pineapple popsicles in lots of ways. We're gonna add those right into this Vitamix. It's the equivalent of about 4 cups, and again, they are frozen, hard as rocks. We kept them all overnight. We're gonna add just a little bit of coconut milk. Now, don't go low-fat coconut milk here. You really need, and this isn't Coco Lopez. I know y'all are already on the adult beverage thought, but this is not Coco Lopez. This is just coconut milk itself. I'm gonna add just about a 1/4 cup to this because I'm gonna need that to really do our blending. Now, nothing I can do about it. This is gonna be pretty loud.
Okay, it's going to be loud. So we will not try to talk. We will just let you enjoy the noise of a blender.
Okay, let's do it. What I was doing was tamping it down. Gonna add just a little touch more coconut milk. It should end up being just about 1/2 cup is what you're really looking to do. As loud as it gets, right?
It does. Not every day do you get a blender noise on Facebook Live, but the payoff is so worth it.
Oh my gosh,
we hope it is at your house as well.
So the only thing that we want to add to this is a little bit of chili lime. Yeah, you can actually see it's this perfect, beautiful whip. And so we've got just a little touch left to do. The chili lime we're going to add right into it. Chili lime is just this incredible sensation with pineapple. We like just sprinkling it on pineapple, just in and of itself.
It's true. Now, was that about a tablespoon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, and here we go again.
Okay.
Sorry, people.
All right.
Instead, it's really something sensational. So, all you're going to do now, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this, is literally just spoon some into whatever you want to do. It could be into a bowl, it could be into a little shot glass or a little mini indulgence glass like we're doing here. And then just sprinkle it with a little more of your chili lime. Chili lime has, yes, lime, but also has a little bit of chili powder and cinnamon and cumin, a little smoked paprika, a little turbinado sugar. Really, really fantastic.
It looks amazing. And people who watch this must really like us to add alcohol to things because because we got a question, are you adding rum to that soon?
Well, you know what? I would do that, but this is summer, right? And we have the opportunity, because it is summer, to not just have Spice Girl Kim here, but we also have the opportunity to have Spice Girl Eva here. And if you all don't know, Eva is Nicole's daughter. That would be my granddaughter. And we thought maybe you should be the taster. What do you think?
So thank you for holding on the rum.
Yes, I know it. For that very reason, I decided to do little spoon. There you go. You love chili lime, right? You're one of the ones that used to like to eat it just from a spoon, so. Okay, that was a really good
Oh, that was
answer.
really good.
Yes.
Oh, she's going in for more.
Going in for more. But what could be easier than that? It just has 3 ingredients. Beautiful sweet pineapple, little bit of coconut milk, and beautiful chili lime. So
Awesome.
You happy? Yes. Thank you
And-
for joining us.
And while the kids are home this summer, a really great treat to make and cool off a little in the 100 degrees after camp.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's a perfect thing. This has been fun.
It has been so fun.
you gonna
Okay,
join
so
us?
we have our Umami Gazpacho, our Adobo Black Bean, tomato, and corn salsa. We've got our Tiki Chili Chiller. Eva, give us a thumbs up. All right.
And I'm going to make one more.
And then are you going to garnish it with anything? Does it even need it, or does the spice really garnish
I
it?
think a lot of people would think the rum is really a beautiful little bit of a garnish, but I do always keep just a little bit of extra pineapple if I can find that pineapple that I had cut a little earlier, and I'm not finding it, but yes, putting just a little bit of a pineapple wedge on top of it.
Oh, there it
Eva.
is.
There it is. Who knew? So yeah, see how that just adds
Oh,
that
yeah.
little bit of extra? And then with that, is that what you would do? You put it on the corner?
Yeah.
Okay, I know. And then let's sprinkle that because there's nothing better.
We do love just straight pineapple with chili lime, so we knew we would love this.
We did
Oh, what a
indeed.
beautiful meal. Awesome job. I'm going to put the Nicole cam down, join my other Spice Girls right here,
Okay.
and we will talk a little bit about what's to come.
What's to come on July 30th. We're going to kick off, even though this is a kickoff to summer, we're going to kick off some of our summer spices that we use. So we've got lots of fun things that are ahead. You like that, huh?
You like
Yeah,
it?
it's really good. That is perfect. We are so excited you joined us. Please continue to let us know if you have questions, ideas that you'd like us to consider doing. Andrew gave me the idea that maybe we should do a ceviche class.
I think a ceviche would be great, and also I was going to ask, because I'm a sucker for a pina colada. Is there a way to turn this into a pina colada?
Well, that's where the rum comes in.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you use it as your drink instead
You
of your
do,
dessert.
yeah. This
All right,
because
perfect.
it really is pineapple, coconut.
We didn't have a
It's
winner.
got it all. No winner.
We did not have, Eva wondered, what about the
Well,
winner?
can I say something?
Yeah.
How about the person that chose 18?
No?
No, we
No,
can't
we're
do
gonna,
it.
so this is what we'll do.
Okay,
We're gonna keep it going.
keep it going.
Because people are gonna watch this after
Right.
the fact. They always do. So hello to the after
Yes.
the factors. And people can submit responses, and the first person to get it. So again, the question is, how many knives has Cutco given away in the PS Flavor Cooking Club?
Okay, great question.
All right.
I know, and great for you all to be with us. We loved it. We can't wait to have this, and hopefully you're enjoying it too. Many thanks to Spice Girl Kim
Yay.
and Spice Girl Eva. Super fun.
Yes, and we'll see you July 30th. Thank you.
Bye-bye.